What's going on with Forbes highlighting writers or articles that don't seem to truly comprehend the topic that they're writing about? Really makes no sense. And the Jason Bloomberg article that was out March 1st is really a perfect example of this. I actually missed the article when it came out on Friday, but yesterday during my live stream chat, Crypto Guy actually brought it up. And I felt that I really needed to address this article in a video. So really, thank you for mentioning this. Hey, this is Jeff with the HODL Report. Join me on today's video as we rebuke Jason Bloomberg, writer for Forbes and FUD spreader of Ripple and XRP. If you enjoyed today's video, please remember to give a thumbs up, leave some comments below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now let's jump right in and really highlight a few parts of this article and break it down. Now, Jason clearly didn't research the SEC test, which makes its determination of how they look at a security. How do they make a determination of what is a security? Now, forget about whether you support XRP, whether you support Ripple, or even if you like their solution. That's really not relevant to this point, because facts are facts. What is relevant is that, again, presenting facts and only facts, not FUD, not fake information. And it's really embarrassing at this point that Forbes continues to publish false information. And no, Jason, you're simply wrong. Let's start with that. Now, let's actually look at your statement on how the SEC tests whether an issuance is a security. Then we'll identify exactly why your statement is wrong. So you made this statement in your article: the SEC or other relevant national regulatory body is the final arbiter of what constitutes a security. Okay, that's true. Now you go on and say, but the common sense way to understand a security is this: if people buy an asset with the expectation of selling it later for a profit, then it's a security. No, you're wrong. The test is actually called the Howey test. This is one of the more important tests that the SEC uses. Obviously, they have other ways to do so. However, the Howey test has been around since 1946, and it's the test that they've applied time after time after time for all these years. Now, I did make a video already on the Howey test, which I'll link at the end, and you can go back and watch it. Now, XRP would be a security if the investment of money was made with a reasonable expectation of profits, primarily from the efforts of others, meaning that owning an XRP or the anticipation of buying that XRP would mean that you are entitled to the gains of Ripple, the company, as they grow and develop. And that is not the case. Buying XRP does not entitle anyone to share in the profits or the gains of Ripple, the company. So your statement of selling an XRP for profit is incorrect on its face. Now, XRP may gain in value based on the utility of the digital asset, which will directly impact the supply and demand, which would then impact, again, the price point of the XRP because of utility, because of supply and demand. Now, Jason, his statement, and really we have to focus in on the fact that, again, it's wrong. XRP is not a security, and Jason's statement, again, on its face is based on an incorrect understanding of the SEC test. Holding an asset with the expectation of selling it later for a potential profit, selling to others through an exchange, does not define that asset as a security. So if your holding of XRP does go up in price, and this is my opinion, this is how I'm looking at all the different writings out there based on what defines something as a security, based on the Howey test, based on how the SEC would look at it, based on Jason's opinion, no, he's wrong. So really, such blatant disregard for the facts actually invalidates the rest of the article. and it really relegates the entire article to being FUD or to being fake news. So really, maybe we just need to stop and ask ourselves at this point, does Forbes or maybe even Jason Bloomberg have some form of financial incentive from publishing misinformation, false information on Ripple and XRP? Is that the case? Hey, you feel real comfortable publishing fake information. Let's turn the tables and say, why are you publicizing fake information? What's your incentive? Is it from Swift or some other organization? I don't know, but maybe it's worth digging in and researching a little bit further. Now, Jason further discredits himself and Forbes by introducing more fictitious statements like, from his article, at its core, the Ripple business model is a pump and dump scheme. Then he presents a graph that really made it look like it's based on real technical analysis, but it was obviously a ridiculous graph with only one purpose, and that was to discredit XRP vis-a-vis Ripple, the company, and the software solution RippleNet. So he tries to make some statement that Ripple is inflating and decreasing the price point to make profit, and his examples of how they're introducing money within the system. It's actually ridiculous. The graph is ridiculous. Jason's premise is really inconsistent to reality, and he fails to recognize the many Ripple bank partners who have had success with RippleNet, and even tries to make the statement that Ripple doesn't call their partners customers and their partners, and so that's what they call them. You know, they're customers. At the end of the day, they're their customers, but is that the appropriate terminology that you want to use in this industry? Are they partners? Because really, it's changing the dynamics of the global payment space. What difference does it make whether or not they call them clients or partners? From a marketing perspective, to work with them, they're better off. I like the terminology partner better than client. So that's what they chose to use. Now, by making his claim of questionable technology right in the graph, he further illustrates his ignorance and goes on to insult the 200 banking institutions like SBI, one of Japan's largest, or MUFG, their second largest, both of which have implemented RippleNet and have really touted its success, and also the many who have tested or are using XRapid and can really attest to the vast potential that XRapid is going to bring to the space, waiting on regulatory clarity to really see a full rollout within the banks. Now, Jason further fails in his attempt to discredit Ripple, stating that they're actually paying institutions to participate, when in fact, per his own quoting, these payments are actually a rebate to help facilitate organizations start up with the RippleNet solution. And the direct statement from his article and the quote that he uses, the reward will come in the form of rebates through the new RippleNet Accelerator Program. Accelerator Program means making it easier and faster for these institutions, these banks and financial institutions, to join in and start utilizing RippleNet. What's wrong with having an accelerator program to help them get involved and start using a new revolutionary solution that they want to get involved in? Now, Jason, the direct question to him now is, have you ever been involved in business ever in your life? And have you ever had the task of rolling out a monumental program or initiative? And I would have to say probably not, because you truly show your naivete in your writing. Now, personally, I'm not a shill for Ripple or XRP, but it's really obvious to the expert or the casual observer alike that Ripple is engaging in a huge endeavor, taking on the Goliath Swift network. RippleNet is really proven to be quite formidable in this space, and really a game changer when it comes to providing a real solution for cross-border payments, a cheaper solution, a faster solution, a transparent solution. Right now, Swift has none of the above. and a significantly better solution than what currently exists. Period. End of story. Don't take my word for it, but you can do your own research and you can look and see what the large banks have written about it. What has SBI said about it? What have many of the others said about it? Banks and financial institutions who are using a RippleNet, those who have begun to implement XRapid, whether it's just in proof of concept in their organization, whether they're waiting on the regulatory clarity, but they've already tested it, so they understand the significance of the XRapid solution, and to those organizations that are already using XRP, and whether it's an exchange or what have you. Now, how can Forbes expect to be taken seriously after continuously publishing articles like this? It's absolutely insane. If you enjoyed today's video, please remember to give a thumbs up, leave some comments below, subscribe if you haven't done so already, share the channels with others you believe that would be interested in the content. And a quick note before I sign off, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not providing any form of financial advice. All opinions expressed on this video are strictly my own opinions. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and until then, keep on hodling your crypto.